Born in Baltimore, Maryland, Justice Thurgood Marshall graduated from Howard University School of Law in 1933. He established a private legal practice in Baltimore before founding the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund in 1940. There, he served as its executive director. In that position, he argued several cases before the Supreme Court. 3 cases stand out for their precedent-setting significance. First, Smith v. Allwright, decided in 1944, declared that states may not permit or conduct race-based primary elections and must be open to voters of all races. This decision enabled the revival of black participation in Texas politics for those voters who could get through the discriminatory voting registration process. By 1948, the number of registered black voters in the South rose fourfold, from 200,000 in 1940 to 800,000 in 1948. And by 1952, it rose to over 1 million. This decision also helped reiterate the idea that public events ran by private organizations, especially elections, are held to the same constitutional standards as all fully public events. The next high-profile case that he argued, Shelley v. Kramer, was decided before the Supreme Court in 1948. This decision stated that the 14th Amendment prohibits a state from enforcing restricted covenants that would prohibit a person from owning or occupying property based on race or color. The Supreme Court held that the racially restrictive arguments standing alone could not be regarded as violative of any rights guaranteed to petitioners by the 14th Amendment. Private parties might abide by the terms of such restrictive covenants, but they may not seek judicial enforcement of such a covenant, as that would be an action by the state. Because such state action would be discriminatory, the enforcement of racially based restrictive covenants in a state court would therefore violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution. Finally, Justice Marshall also successfully argued Brown v. Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas in 1954. This decision affirmed segregation of students in public schools violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment because separate facilities are inherently unequal. The court decision in Brown partially overruled Plessy v. Ferguson by declaring that the separate but equal notion was unconstitutional for American public schools and educational facilities. It paved the way for integration and was a major victory for civil rights movement and a model for many future impact litigation cases. Justice Marshall, in 1961, was appointed to the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit. After serving 4 years, he was appointed as the United States Solicitor General in 1965, making him the first African American to be named to that office. And the capstone of an illustrious legal career, in 1967, Justice Marshall was confirmed as the first African American justice of the Supreme Court of the United States. I'm reminded what radio personality the late Cliff Russell said from his telecast in Detroit, Michigan: know your history. And I say to you, knowledge is power. And the knowledge of our history positions us for a powerful future.